Welcome to Elderly Health Tips, your go-to channel for practical advice to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent as you age. In today's video, we're diving into 7 powerful vitamins that can help keep your legs strong, flexible, and free from nagging cramps. Sounds surprising? The truth is, common issues like muscle weakness, balance problems, and nighttime leg cramps aren't always just part of getting older. They're often signs that your body is missing key nutrients. Some of the vitamins on this list might sound familiar, but others, especially the one at number 4, are often overlooked even by doctors. If you're ready to regain control of your steps and move through life with confidence, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And hey, if you're finding this helpful already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more insights coming your way. Ranked at number 7, Vitamin D. Vitamin D is not just about bones. It's about mobility, balance, and independence. I've practiced medicine for over 35 years, and as both a doctor and a man in his 70s, I've seen the damage a silent deficiency can do, not only in hospital charts, but in my own mirror. A landmark study published in the Journal of Gerontology, Medical Sciences in 2017 found that over 60% of adults aged 65 and older in the U.S. have insufficient levels of vitamin D, and many don't even know it. But here's what's really alarming. That same study linked low vitamin D levels with a 30% higher risk of falls and a 40% increase in leg weakness and muscle loss in aging populations. Another respected source, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, highlighted that vitamin D supplementation in older adults significantly reduced muscle pain, improved postural control, and even helped reduce hospital admissions from fall-related injuries. So how can you tell if you might be low on vitamin D? Here are some quiet warning signs many seniors ignore. Frequent leg cramps, especially at night. Muscle weakness when climbing stairs. Feeling off balance or wobbly when walking. Fatigue that just won't go away. Bone aches, especially in the hips or lower back. Sound familiar? If it does, you're not alone. I've had dozens of patients tell me, "Doc, I thought that was just old age." And maybe you're thinking the same. Where can you get vitamin D? Sunlight is the most natural source. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day on your arms and face can make a world of difference if you live in a sunny state like Arizona or Florida. But what if you're in Chicago during winter? Or like me, spending more time indoors these days? That's when you need to turn to fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, rich in D3, egg yolks and fortified dairy or plant milks, supplements, but be sure to ask your doctor before starting. Pro tip: D3, cholecalciferol, is more effective than D2, especially in older adults. But be careful. More isn't always better. Taking too much vitamin D can cause problems too, like nausea, kidney strain, and even calcium buildup in your arteries. That's why I always tell my patients, test, don't guess. Ask your doctor to check your 25-hydroxyvitamin D levels. The optimal range for seniors? Between 30 and 50 nanograms per milliliter. Ranked at number 6, calcium. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, nearly half of all Americans over age 50 don't get the recommended daily intake of calcium. That's alarming. Why? Because calcium isn't just about your bones. It's about how your muscles move, contract, and support your body every single day. In fact, a major study published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society found that older adults with low calcium intake were 47% more likely to experience mobility limitations, things like difficulty walking, climbing stairs, or standing up from a chair. Sure, dairy is a classic source, milk, cheese, yogurt, but it's not the only way. Here are some powerful non-dairy options: leafy greens like kale, collard greens, and bok choy. Fortified plant milks like almond, soy, or oat. Look for 300 milligrams plus per cup. Tofu, especially if made with calcium sulfate. Canned salmon or sardines with bones. Yes, the bones are soft and packed with calcium. Figs, almonds, and even chia seeds. What I do personally? I add a scoop of chia to my oatmeal, snack on almonds in the afternoon, and I drink fortified oat milk with my coffee. Simple. Sustainable. And my legs feel more dependable than they did at 60. But there's a catch. Calcium doesn't work alone. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium properly. Without magnesium, calcium can't function well in your muscles. So think of calcium as the main actor, but it needs a strong supporting cast. This is why I always tell my patients, you don't need a single magic pill. You need the full nutritional orchestra. And yes, you can get too much. More calcium isn't always better. In fact, taking over 2,000 milligrams per day can lead to kidney stones and interfere with other mineral balances. The recommended intake? 1,000 milligrams per day for most adults, 1,200 milligrams per day for women over 50 and men over 70. Stick with food first. Use supplements only if needed, and always check with your doctor first. What about you? Do you think you're getting enough calcium-rich foods in your daily diet? Ranked at number 5, vitamin B12. Let me put this plainly. Without enough vitamin B12, your brain and your muscles stop speaking the same language. And for seniors like you and me, that miscommunication can lead to falls, weakness, and a frightening sense of instability. According to a 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, up to 20% of adults over age 60 in the U.S. are deficient in vitamin B12, and many don't even know it. Why does it matter? Because B12 is essential for maintaining myelin, the protective coating around your nerves. Without it, nerve signals slow down. And when signals from your brain to your legs don't arrive fast enough, well, that's when you stumble. A 2019 review from Harvard Medical School even showed that vitamin B12 deficiency can mimic early dementia, but the symptoms are reversible if caught early. Recognizing the red flags. Do any of these sound familiar? Numbness or tingling in your hands or feet. Muscle weakness, especially in the legs. Balance issues, tripping more often. Trouble concentrating or remembering words. Mood changes or unexplained fatigue. These aren't just getting older. They're your nerves waving a white flag. So where do we get B12? Mainly from animal-based foods, beef, chicken, and pork. Eggs, milk and cheese, fish like salmon, tuna, and mackerel. But here's the problem. As we age, our stomachs produce less intrinsic factor, a protein needed to absorb B12 efficiently. That means even if you eat meat, your body might not be absorbing it well. Vegans and vegetarians are at even higher risk unless they regularly eat fortified foods or take a supplement. That's why I often recommend blood testing for B12 in anyone over 60, just to be safe. Simple fixes that make a big difference. If your levels are low, don't worry. B12 is easy to supplement. Sublingual tablets dissolve under the tongue, sprays or lozenges, and in some cases, monthly injections prescribed by your doctor. Choose methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin. Both are effective, though methyl is often better absorbed. And best of all, it's affordable. No prescription needed for most over-the-counter options. Ranked at number 4, magnesium. Magnesium is one of those quiet heroes in your body. You don't hear much about it until it's gone. But let me tell you, when you're low on magnesium, your muscles know it. Tight calves, sudden cramps, restless legs at night. Sound familiar? I've seen this in patients over and over again, and yes, I've felt it in my own body too. According to data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, NHANES, nearly 50% of older adults in the U.S. consume less magnesium than they should. That's a staggering number. And a 2018 article in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society showed that magnesium deficiency in seniors is closely linked to muscle cramping, sleep disturbances, and even impaired mobility. So no, it's not just in your head. I remember when I was 66, I started waking up in the middle of the night with this sharp, curling cramp in my left calf. Like someone was wringing my muscle like a wet towel. I'd jump out of bed, hop around, try to stretch it out. It was awful. After some blood work, my magnesium was at the lower end of the scale. I started eating more spinach, almonds, and added a low-dose magnesium glycinate supplement. Within weeks, gone. And I've slept soundly since. So, what are the signs to look out for? Start with muscle cramps, especially those nighttime ones that jolt you awake. Add in chronic muscle tension, eyelid twitching, and feeling stiff or locked up after light activity. Some people also feel more anxious or restless. Yes, magnesium even plays a role in calming your nervous system. The good news? Magnesium is easy to add to your routine. Leafy greens like kale and Swiss chard, nuts like cashews and almonds, seeds like pumpkin and sunflower, they're all magnesium-rich. Whole grains like brown rice and oatmeal help too. And don't forget legumes. Black beans, lentils, and chickpeas are your muscles' best friends. But if food alone isn't cutting it, supplements are a safe and affordable option, as long as you don't overdo it. I usually recommend magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate because they're better absorbed and gentler on the stomach. Just steer clear of high doses unless your doctor approves. Too much magnesium, especially in laxative form, can cause diarrhea or upset stomach. Let me ask you something. Have you been dealing with cramps lately? Ever feel like your legs are stiff no matter how much you stretch? Do you wake up at night with an ache that wasn't there before? Drop a comment or take a note. These things matter. Magnesium might not be flashy, but it works where it counts, deep in your muscles and nerves. Ranked at number 3. Potassium. Potassium is one of those minerals most people overlook, until their body starts screaming for it. You don't see it trending in health magazines, but when you're low on potassium, your legs shake, your energy crashes, and cramps hit like a punch in the night. Let's look at the numbers. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, less than 2% of Americans meet the daily recommended intake of potassium. That includes older adults. A 2016 review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low potassium intake in seniors is directly linked to muscle weakness, high blood pressure, and even increased risk of stroke. I know it firsthand. When I was in my mid-60s, I started noticing that my legs would tremble a bit after I walked up a flight of stairs. Not pain, just this deep fatigue, like my muscles were missing something. After reviewing my diet, I realized I'd slowly stopped eating many potassium-rich foods, especially since I cut back on bananas due to sugar concerns. Once I added in sweet potatoes, spinach, avocado, and beans a few times a week, things started to change. The fatigue faded. My legs felt firmer, more stable. It wasn't some overnight miracle, but it was real progress. Let's talk symptoms. What does low potassium feel like? You might experience muscle cramps or spasms, especially in your legs. Fatigue or weakness that shows up even after mild activity. A strange sense of shakiness when standing. In more severe cases, irregular heartbeat or heart palpitations. Potassium is a key player in muscle contraction and fluid balance. When it's low, your muscles misfire and your cells can't hydrate properly. That means everything, movement, energy, even blood pressure, gets thrown off track. Now here's the good news. Potassium isn't hard to find if you know where to look. Everyone thinks of bananas, and yes, they're great. But there's way more variety than that. Sweet potatoes are potassium powerhouses. So are beets, white beans, lentils, tomatoes, and even plain yogurt. I often roast some sweet potatoes on Sunday and keep them in the fridge. Easy grab-and-go nutrition. Another tip? Watch your sodium. Too much salt can flush potassium right out of your system. Seniors, especially those on blood pressure meds or diuretics, often lose potassium through urine without even realizing it. If you're considering a supplement, talk to your doctor first. Potassium supplements can be tricky. In large doses, they may affect your heart rhythm, so it's best to work through diet unless your healthcare provider tells you otherwise. Let's move on to number 2. In my opinion, it's a simple yet crucial factor. Vitamin K. Vitamin K isn't flashy, but it's critical, especially for older adults. Most people only think of calcium and vitamin D when it comes to bone health. But without vitamin K, your body can't direct calcium to the right places. And worse, it might send calcium to the wrong places, like your arteries. Let's talk facts. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that older adults with low vitamin K intake had significantly lower bone mineral density and a 25% higher risk of fractures. Another study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that vitamin K2 specifically reduces arterial calcification, helping keep calcium out of soft tissues and blood vessels. So how do you know if you might be lacking vitamin K? There aren't always obvious symptoms, but here's what to look for. Easy bruising or bleeding gums. Weak or aching joints, especially knees and hips. History of fractures or slow-healing bones. Calcium levels rising in blood tests without a clear reason. Vitamin K plays a double role. It activates proteins that build bone, and it inhibits calcium deposits where they don't belong. Without it, calcium may settle in artery walls instead of bones. That's a recipe for both osteoporosis and heart disease, a combination we seniors want to avoid at all costs. There are 2 key types. Vitamin K, 1, found in leafy greens like spinach, collards, and kale, and vitamin K2, found in fermented foods like natto, aged cheeses, and certain dairy products. I like to get a mix of both. If I have a salad for lunch, I'll have a small cube of Gouda or cheddar after dinner. Easy, delicious, and protective. Now, supplements are available, but you have to be cautious. If you're on blood thinners like warfarin, increasing vitamin K suddenly can interfere with your medication. So always talk to your doctor before starting a supplement. Ranked at number 1. Vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 doesn't always make headlines, but it plays a vital role in keeping both your nerves and muscles functioning smoothly. And for older adults like us, that's more important than ever. According to the National Institutes of Health, vitamin B6 helps your body make neurotransmitters, the chemicals that carry signals from your brain to your muscles. A 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that low B6 levels are associated with nerve dysfunction, delayed muscle response, and increased risk of falls in adults over 60. Now, what are the signs that you might be low? Tingling or numbness in your hands or feet, muscle weakness or cramps, sudden jerks or twitches in your legs, trouble concentrating or feeling mentally foggy, fatigue even after rest. These are not just normal aging. They can be early signs of nerve irritation or dysfunction, especially if your diet is low in key vitamins like B6. The great news is, you don't need anything exotic to get enough B6. It's found in everyday foods. Chicken, turkey, and salmon are excellent sources. If you're more plant-based, you've got options too. Bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals all carry a healthy dose. Personally, I start my day with oatmeal and a sliced banana, throw some roasted chickpeas on my lunch salad, and have baked salmon once or twice a week. No pills needed unless levels are low. And even then, low-dose B6 is inexpensive and widely available. And there you have it. 7 powerful vitamins that can make a real difference in the strength, flexibility, and comfort of your legs as you age. Remember, staying active and pain-free isn't just about movement. It's about nourishing your body from the inside out. Maybe you've already been taking 1 or 2 of these vitamins, but now you know how they work together and which ones you might still be missing. If anything in today's video made you stop and think, or if you found a tip that could help someone you love, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video, leave us a comment, let us know what's working for you. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more coming to help you stay strong, steady, and healthy, year after year. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.